Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the 2024 BMW X5 xDrive 50e. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the BMW of Pleasant Grove, Utah for giving me some time with this X5. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, you need any help, just ask for Joseph. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 paired to a hybrid system and an 8-speed automatic transmission. Total power outputs are 483 horsepower and then 516 pound-feet of torque. Now the MPGe rating of this powertrain is 58. 22 miles per gallon is the rating you get if you have no hybrid assist whatsoever, and then this has 39 miles of electric driving range. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, this one's finished in Brooklyn Gray, which is such a cool color. It's got like a really cool metallic flake to it. And then notice with the BMW logo, it's got some blue around it to signify this is a hybrid. Now up front, we've got these really cool daytime running lights, and look at the headlights as well. That's normal X5 stuff, or new X5 stuff rather. And then we've got the blacked out kidney front grille here. It's got like a satin finish on the outside. And then you guys can see all the trim here at the bottom, blacked out. You do have some parking sensors there too. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the looks, but I'm glad that the hybrid stuff doesn't change the looks. Now coming on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 45, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you got the silver on the top with the metallic gray. And again, blue around the BMW logo to signify it's a hybrid. And then I love the red brake caliper, that pops. We've got these body painted fender flares, then notice how that's blacked out on the side. And you've got the electrified by eye badge on the center of that. Anyways, body painted at the bottom. Notice the mirror caps are body painted, the door handles, and then the window trim's all blacked out. And then here's your full side view with the hybrid X5. And for those of you wondering, the driver's side is what contains the charging port. Now here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our lock function, also remote starts built into that. We've got our unlock and the opening for the hatch, and it's pretty cool with the M colors and everything on it. Now popping into the hatch, we have this little tailgate here that the X5 is kind of famous for. Notice you can lower down the suspension with a button on the tailgate, and then also you can just press that and that'll lower down the tailgate itself. But storage space in the X5 is fantastic. This is a pretty big SUV. Notice we got a cargo cover built in from the factory as well. And then when you're all done, you can just press this button right here and it'll close everything together. Now taking a look at the taillights, really cool design, especially here on the side. And then you guys can see your xDrive 50e badge right there. And then look at the parking sensors at the bottom. And then the covers of the exhaust tips are pretty cool. And wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the looks here on the hybrid X5. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see really nice trim here at the top and also down below, and then you've got the ambient lighting as well, and then a few speakers here for the sound system, and I love the wood trim. And look at these seats, perforated all down the center portion. I like the trim here on the outside as well. And then taking a look at the legroom here, you guys can see really solid. We also have a little storage pocket here, got some USB action, and then we have our controls here for the climate zones for the rear. We also have heated seats in the back as well, and then we of course have our little cup holder armrest set up here, which is a little bit over-engineered, but not too bad. And then last but not least, headroom. It's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again the trim here at the top and also down below. The lighting sucks with that shot, by the way, sorry. Anyways, got our window controls here. Mirror adjustments, the mirrors do power fold in. We got memory seats as well, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then here's the front seat. Notice again, perforated all down the center portion. I love this stitching design too. All of our adjustments here on the side, and look at the pedal layout right there. And then you got your light controls here off to the side as well, and then the steering wheel is power adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, really nice trim all around. You got paddle shifters there on the back of the steering wheel, and I like the stitching around the airbag cover here as well. And then notice the M color there at the bottom, and then you got the rest of your practical controls here on the front, and then your regular stocks there on the back. Now I've got this full digital gauge cluster here in the center, and it shows you important information. So you guys can see it shows us our range, for example, and then you guys can see over here it shows us the battery range as well, so it kind of puts it all together. And then just like other BMWs, when you change the drive modes, it'll change what it looks like here in the center, which I don't know, I think that's kind of fun. So in reverse, we got this 360 camera system here. We've got trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You got that bird's eye view as well. Resolution's really solid. And moving from the camera system to the infotainment system, Really big screen here, as you can see. We've got this, which is basically your shortcut tab to everything. So notice we've got stuff like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. But yeah, easy enough to use. Got the full nav screen here as well. And then notice the climate controls are always accessible, which I think is a big plus. Just makes using everything in here really easy. Now, really nice trim all over the dash at the top. Then you guys can see the wood trim down below, really cool look. And then notice those lines go to the X5 logo at the end. And then you got some vent action here in the center. And again, look at the design. So here's kind of like a closer look. Pretty cool. And then we do have some analog controls just down below. And then we've got our little wood trim here that covers up stuff like the wireless phone charging pad, some cup holder action with a 12 volt. And then this is like our analog control stack. So we've got the analog control for the infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen, your gear selector, you've got your stability control, parking sensors. This is for the hybrid system, so it's called battery hold mode. You guys can see that I just pressed in right there. And then I can go to Hybrid Eco Pro if I press the button again. So all that the battery hold mode does is it doesn't use the battery, so then it'll keep it at the range that it's at if you want to use it later. Anyways, we've got all of the rest of the drive modes here, hill descent control, auto hold, and this is for the suspension to raise and lower it. And then, yeah, pretty good space here in the center console. Got some USB action there. Nice padding here on the top. And then you guys can see with the glove box. Nice padding on the outside and good storage space. Now up top, we got our control here for the panoramic sunroof, as you can see. Sorry about the glare on the window sticker, but 2024 X5 xDrive 50e, 72,500 MSRP starting. It's got quite a few options on it. After all options, this one stickers for 86,245. And let's sum things up. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, do a blind spot monitoring, clear the rest of the rear, and let us set off. Also, I got to, I guess, adjust this mirror on the side. There we go. Okay, let us set off in the X5 50e. Now, I feel like, man, this is gonna make me sound old. Back in the day, I reviewed a 45e. I had it for a week as a loaner from BMW, and I really liked it. I thought that it was a really good, just hybrid SUV. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of how this compares. This has a lot more performance. That 45e that I had, I think it had like, what is, it was like high 300s for the horsepower. And this is obviously, you know, close to 500 horsepower. So a little bit of a different setup here, but we'll get our little acceleration here. Wow. Whoa. Wow, that was punchy. Now, you guys saw the message. This does have a little bit of power loss, I guess, but yeah, that was a bad acceleration. But anyways, it's got some pep. Like it feels really good. And the thing I'm noticing is it doesn't, let's pop it into electric mode. It doesn't feel like, yeah, this kind of reminds me of the XM, where it doesn't feel as disconnected as other plug-in hybrids. Like it feels like it kind of unifies pretty dang well. This is kind of like a baby XM. Interesting way to look at it. So yeah, I guess that's that'll get me into setting things up with my initial impressions. Obviously, if you guys want to see more driving in the future, then I can try to put something together. Maybe I'll get like a loaner from the manufacturer on one of these, if you guys want to see, I guess, more testing on it. But you know, as what I felt, at least, it feels just like the XM, which I had an XM for a week as a vehicle tester. So with that kind of in mind, I like it a lot. It's got good electric range, it's got good power, and the economy is obviously not necessarily the greatest when it comes to plug-in hybrids, but you know, other plug-in hybrids have better economy. They don't have the performance that this has. So this kind of combines that performance with being more economical, which I think is pretty cool overall. So yeah, I'm impressed. And the way that I would look at this is it's basically an XM, doesn't have the crazy styling, and it is obviously a lot more affordable than an XM. And then on top of that, instead of having a V8, right, it's got the inline 6, but still has tons of power. And so yeah, I'm a big fan. I think that BMW is doing a really good job with their plug-in hybrids, and I think that this is one of the you know, this is one of the few plug-in hybrids in the market that I think is really good. And I think other automakers should kind of take note with, you know, what BMW is doing here, and then also with the XM as well.